Welcome home, little light. Welcome home, everyone. Hi. Hi. Welcome home, Mochi. Welcome home, Timmy. Welcome home, Troper. Welcome home, Nova. Welcome home, Bread. Welcome home, everyone. Welcome home. Tell me if the music is too loud. Thank you, Mochi. Thank you. I appreciate it. Music is good. Okay, good. Good, yeah. Okay. I'm glad the music is good. Thank you! If you haven't seen it, let me show off the full outfit. Here it is! In all its glory. It was a 2-week sprint. Sorry, I ate pineapple right before stream, so I'm like a little gagged. But yeah, it was a 2-week sprint. All of this done in 2 weeks. This, and then also the merch that I created. Which you should definitely check out if you haven't. Even if you don't buy it, just checking it out because I did work very hard on it. And I'm very proud of it. Good clothing! Yes. Yeah. It's good clothes indeed. Thank you. How are all of you? Welcome. Thank you for being here so early. I love my early stream risers. Those who come to stream right off the bat. You guys are the best. You're so cute. Me? No, you. No, you. So we have a few things going on today. I'm going to be making a CircusCore outfit. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. Today seemed like a good day to do it. So we're going to be designing that. And then we're also going to be doing an AMA. And Ask Me Anything. I put out a Google form that you all could submit questions to. And we have a handful. We have a handful of questions. A lot of questions about my lore. A lot of questions about my taste in nuggies. It should be a good time. So I'm gonna kind of bounce back and forth. Answer some questions, work on some art, answer some questions. The form is gonna stay open. So you are welcome to submit a question at any point in stream. If you submit a question after I finish answering questions, you might want to tell me. Just be like, hey, the form is updated. Otherwise I won't know to look. What's a stream? You best start believing in streams, Shire, because you're in one. If my voice didn't crack, and I didn't do that while I was fixing my hair, it would have been really cool. Would have been the coolest thing I've ever said. Best start believing in VTubers. Because you are one. Yeah, it'll be a good time. Last night was kind of a crazy night, because the foxes have been coming out to play in the evening, in the nighttime. And it's been keeping Pix up. So Pix has started barking in the early hours of the morning because she's alerted by all of the foxes. Let me see here. Making sure everything is good on my end. Yep. Looks good. I want to edit this face a little bit. This face is not exactly what I want it to look like. So I'm just going to kind of take my little tool and kind of push it around a bit. What did the fox say? It's funny you asked that because, did you know that foxes scream? They scream like women. They scream so loud, and it sounds like a screaming person, and it's very spooky. We had someone stay the night at our house recently, and they were very spooked by how loud the foxes are. Because they do. They sound like genuinely screaming humans. I think that is a little bit better. Fix that a bit. Maybe fix the face a little bit. I drew this face and body so fast that I didn't really have time to edit it. I wanted to have it done before stream. You did know that I've been outside with neighbors trying to figure out if it was a person or not on occasion. Yeah, it's very spooky because they do it late at night. And you hear the foxes scream and you're like, oh, please let that be a fox and not a human. But when it is a fox, you're like, thank goodness. Let me fix my references. I'm gonna push this back a little. Push this up a little. I know. The foxes scream. I love the foxes though, because we just have way too many squirrels. And I'm glad that the squirrel situation is getting a fix. Because squirrels are messy. I mean that with the most love. They're very messy. So between the number of neighborhood cats that we have and the number of squirrels, I'm not mad that the foxes are here. It is terrifying. The craziest thing about foxes screaming is that it's just uncanny enough to, like, not sound like a human. Right? You hear it, and it does sound like a demon creature. Foxes are terrifying. Actually, real. Let me fix this eye a little bit. Take it in just a bit. Give us a good foundation there. I have a reference up at the side, and I'm trying to, like, make sure that this fits my reference. The mouth probably needs to be more like here, and then I probably need to bring the rest of the face down a bit to match the character reference that I have. Yeah, I think that looks better. Yeah, that looks better. Perf. Yeah, so I have over 30 questions. And some of them are repeat questions, so I haven't really figured out how I was going to do this. Let's see. I'm just gonna go through them one by one. And if there's one that I can't answer, then I'm just gonna skip it. Because there are some things that, obviously, I can't talk about. But I didn't see any questions that were, like, really inappropriate or anything like that. There was one question that was kind of aggressive, that I saw, and I was like, I don't know. We might answer that question, but if I'm not feeling good, I don't think we're going to tackle it. So we'll see. It is a we'll wait and see type situation. You just looked up the fox screaming, and what the heck? It's spooky. It's really scary. I have to eat the weird food? No. If I don't answer it, then that's between me and the Google form. Exactly, Mochi. It is very unsettling. It does kind of sound like a woman screaming, but it also sounds like not a human at all. So you're not really sure what to make of it. Spooky, spooky. Okay, let me take a sip of my water. And then we will... Bread will eat the weird food. There, it's decided. You are the weird food. You are the eldritch horror of bread. Yeah, I've heard that a lot of big cats will sound like women screaming when they make whatever noise it is that they make. Very spooky. That's why if you ever hear somebody screaming in the forest, it might be a trap. Let me look, make sure that I'm good here. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay. All right. Thank you to those of you who are submitting questions right now. I don't know what the questions are, but I see the number going up, so I appreciate you participating. Thank you. Okay. So the first question that I got was... So this question can be interpreted a few ways. It reads, how long did you make an art and an outfit design of your VTuber model? And I'm assuming that it means how long did it take you to make the art and design of your VTuber model? So the design... Okay. The outfit that I'm wearing right now, I actually didn't design. I designed the hair, but not the outfit. The outfit was designed by Choi_East, IST, on Twitter. It was an adopt outfit, and I just put it on my model and I rigged it. And then also this is a new hair. So the face and the, you know, these things, my head feathers, they're still from 2023. They're still 3 years old. But the outfit and the hair was part of the birthday design spread. So it took me 2 weeks. And it was a very hectic 2 weeks. It wasn't like 2 weeks and I got lots of rest and didn't go to the emergency room. Or I should say, not emergency room, but urgent care. Not the emergency room. So don't do what I do. Take your time making your art and model. I know. It's funny because the technical answer to how long did it take for me to make this model is 3 years, but only because 3 years ago, I think I made Siri in a week, and then the beginning of this month, I made this new outfit in 2 weeks. So in total, I would say 3 weeks, but that's barring the fact that during the course of those 3 years, I have gone back into this model and updated like some of the hair physics and some of the mouth movements and stuff like that. So I wouldn't even say that. I would say it's just... The nice thing about making my own model is I can adjust things as I like. And so if there's something that I really don't like, I can go back in and I can fix it. So yeah, every 3 years, I make an entire VTuber in a week. Hopefully not. My new process for making VTubers, I'm no longer able to make a VTuber in a week. Exactly, Mochi. I will say, and we'll probably get into this later because there are questions about Saoirse. So this is the Siri model. This is the Siri design. There will come a time where there will be a new model Not one that is built off of 3 years, but just a new model. But as of right now, yeah, I mean, every once in a while I do go back in and I change things. There's even a whole outfit in the model files that I never finished rigging, and 2 new hairstyles I never finished rigging with this model. So will we see that before Saoirse? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I have to, you know, I have to make money before I can work for myself. That is the caveat of being an artist. I have to make sure my bills are paid before I can follow my dreams. Alright, next question. I know. Stupid bills. The next question is about my birthday outfit. I love talking about my birthday outfit. Is there some detail on the birthday outfit we haven't noticed that you love? I think everything that I was really proud of, you guys picked up on immediately. When we did the outfit reveal, we did go through 2 different times. We went through and we showed off the whole model and all of its details and how much work Troy put into designing it, and the work that I put into rigging it. And I don't think there was anything that we didn't touch on. Just how detailed the design was, how flowy I tried to make the skirt, the tails, the little steppies, which I'm pretty proud of. The bows. The one thing is, I guess, is we have the corset is different than what we have on the top here. But even, because what I did with the bust on this model is that I didn't make like a really bouncy bust like you see with a lot of VTubers. I tried to give like the illusion of a bust, but without a lot of bust physics, and tried to just like keep the physics to the ruffles and the bows and stuff like that. And people picked up on that immediately as well, so much so that I've had clients come to me and say that they want the same thing. Like, they don't want the jiggly bust. They want a bust that is more implied and more physics on the outfit itself rather than the body. So I was really glad that I had that effect and that people came to me and they were like, yeah, I actually don't want a jiggly VTuber bust. I just want like my clothing to have physics. And I never really thought about VTubers wanting that kind of like implied design rather than having it be pronounced like it usually is with VTubers. So I thought that that was an interesting thing that came out of the VTuber design, was people coming forward and being like, yeah, I also don't want to be heavily sexualized. Spirit, welcome home. Okay. Trying to fit myself back on screen. Oh, wow. Thank you guys for more responses. Thank you for asking your questions. Is there any food I could go for right now? I'm in the part of the month. I have two modes per month. I have 2 modes. I answered the first 2 questions, Spirit. I answered how long did it take for me to make my VTuber model and what details did we miss. Per month I have 2 modes. Mode 1 is I'm not really that hungry at all and I don't really want to eat anything, and mode 2 is I am the most famished person on the planet and I cannot stop eating. And right now I'm in the I'm not really all that hungry and I haven't really been eating meals lately because I just am not hungry mode. So what do I want to eat right now? Not really anything. Maybe like some cheese. I ate some pineapple earlier. That was nice. I think a burger would probably behoove me, or something with like a lot of protein, so that I can have a filling meal. Something with iron in it would be good. I ate a spinach omelet this morning. That was good. But I'm not really all that hungry right now, so thank you for asking. I'm not in my hungry girl era at the moment. What is the one true premier nuggie dip? That's a good question, because it depends on the nuggie. It depends on... Is it the Taco Bell nuggie? Because if it's the Taco Bell nuggie, the Taco Bell sauce. If it's the Chick-fil-A nuggie, then the honey roasted barbecue. It depends on where the nuggies are from. Not all nuggies are the same. It also depends on how dry the nuggies are, because if the nuggies are really dry, then you probably want something creamier. But if they're really, like, moist on the inside, then probably something spicy. A very intricate answer for you. What was the drive behind Siri's new fashion? Yeah, so this outfit, I'm gonna show it off again since we're talking about it. Hello, here we go. So I had bought this outfit from Choi back in February, and the intent was to use it in an illustration for a Valentine's themed ASMR. I unfortunately was unable to produce the Valentine's ASMR in time, so I just kind of had this outfit, and I had bought a second outfit from Choi that I was intending to make that outfit my birthday outfit. But then when I opened up my folder and I looked at the two outfits side by side, I was like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a poll, and whatever you guys choose is gonna be the new outfit. So I put up, I don't know if you guys remember the poll, but the poll, you could choose between Dry K or Bunny, and you guys chose Dry K. So there is another timeline in which I'm wearing a bunny outfit right now. But rest assured, the bunny outfit will come. It'll be Saoirse's outfit. And Siri gets the Dry K outfit, which I think works because the black and white, it blends well. Not that the bunny outfit wouldn't have blended, but, you know. That's how that would have gone. What else? But yeah, like I said, I've said it plenty of times before, the birthday outfit, it was a 2-week outfit. It was a 2-week sprint. I wanted to make the art and design it, and I talked about it during the debut stream. I really wanted to push myself to see what I was capable of, and that is where this outfit came from, basically. In a nutshell. I don't want to get, like, into the whole story again, because obviously we had the whole story during that stream. But that was kind of the thought process behind it. Like, doing something for myself and, trying to test my limits a little bit. Let me put this like that. Okay. Next question. Is there lore attached to Siri's pink look? Yes and no. Not lore in a traditional sense. The lore with Siri is that Siri is a seamstress, and she makes art for all kinds of magical beings and magical creatures. So it was always a lore that was made to experiment with lots of different types of whimsical fashion. Sorry, let me put this like that there. So her having a different style of outfit was just par for the course even. It was always designed to be that way. I mean, we don't often show off the Nier Automata outfit, but she also has a Nier Automata outfit, and there's really not any lore behind that one either, other than, like, in an alternate universe, she has, like, a Nier Automata arc, But it's mostly just because Siri likes making outfits. That's really all there is to it. I think it'd be cute if we did like a vest like that. Like a cute little round vest would be cute. And then we'll make this a deeper V. Like that. Okay. I'm trying to multitask, answer these questions and design at the same time. But I talk with my hands sometimes, so that might be why I stop on occasion. And just kind of like play with my water bottle while I answer these questions. What is my favorite game of all time? I feel like if you had asked me that question a few years ago, I would have told you Kingdom Hearts. I would have said Kingdom Hearts in a heartbeat. But in the total time that I have spent playing video games, I think Final Fantasy XIV I have spent the most time playing. So despite the fact that I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with Final Fantasy XIV, I do think that that would have to be my favorite game as of right now, just because of like the time and the energy and the money that I have sunk into Final Fantasy XIV. Hi, Farrakha, welcome home. Hi. How are you doing today? Let me do this, and then we could do like a... like that. I'm trying to think of another answer for my all-time favorite game. I really like Alice Madness Returns, but I more like the aesthetic of it than the gameplay. I do really like Infinity Nikki, but I wish that Infinity Nikki wasn't a gacha game. That's kind of the biggest thing I wish. If it wasn't a gacha game, it'd be one of my favorites. I liked playing Genshin, but I don't like the story writing style in Genshin. It's hard for me to follow. And I also, like, the min-maxing in Genshin kind of got on my nerves after a while. Yeah. I hope that's a good answer. I think it does boil down to 14 is my biggest one. How do you even begin designing your OCs? How does the process start from the beginning? This is a really good question, because whenever I get a new client for character design, we kind of have to go through this. So the number one way to start designing an OC is to make a mood board. Sort of just like put all of your ideas on paper and put it in a format where you can start connecting the dots between what kind of design you really want to have. Once you get a mood board, you can start sketching things out. I usually go through multiple iterations, starting with thumbnails. I'll start with thumbnails of character design and then kind of pick the things that I like and leave off the things that I don't. And over time, the character develops. I think for both Ciri and Saoirse, because Saoirse has gone through another minor redesign that I haven't shown anyone yet, but it's so minor, you guys probably won't be able to tell. But with Saoirse, because I had a little bit of money, I actually went to a lot of different artists, and I was like, here is the basic sketch idea that I have. Can you make your own rendition of it? And I had a whole bunch of artists make their own version of Saoirse, with, you know, little variations. And once I see another artist draw my OC, I feel like I get a better idea of what things I like and what things I don't like. And it makes it that much easier for me to create my own design. I know with Siri, because Siri I didn't have that kind of availability. Siri I had started designing in October, and I think like a day or so after I finished designing Siri, I debuted her design, at least, not her model. Because I remember in January, I had a stream where I was celebrating like 3 years of streamers, something like that. And that's when I debuted the Siri design for everyone. This is like a PNG tuber. Maybe if we have like little buttons here, that'd be cute. I think that's cute, yeah. And then I want to do the puffy sleeves. Let me see my reference here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do like the alternating colors here. Like that. I think that's very CircusCore when we have the alternating colors like that. And then we'll probably have like something like this at the end of the sleeves. I also want to put like a subtle butterfly design in this outfit. So we're going to work on that as well. But I think after I get like more of the major shapes down, we'll put the butterflies in. Right now I'm just like putting down on paper the things that I want. Also guys, I gotta be right back for like just a second. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to go adjust something. Yeah, even with Siri, because Saoirse is more of the butterfly one, and if you guys hear me say Saoirse, who am I talking about? This is who I'm talking about. This is the 2.0. As you can see, between Siri, which is right here, and then Saoirse, who's over there, very similar characters because they are the same character. Saoirse is just gonna have a debut much later on because I'm developing some other stuff for her. But on socials, generally speaking, I represent myself as Saoirse and not Siri. Other than recently, because I made Siri a new outfit, of course. But we'll talk about lore, I think, probably in a second, because I know I have some lore questions here. Okay. Gotta put my glove back on. Yeah, I was wondering, like, if I was in a circus, what would my circus shtick be? And I kind of think that my thing in the circus would be hypnotism. I thought it'd be really fun to be like a butterfly hypnotist. Because somebody was like, oh yeah, I think Autumn was like, she would want to be a fortune teller. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. I'm just thinking about like what kind of shows I go to when I go to a festival or something like that. And I was like, I always like going to the hypnotist show because I just think they're relaxing. Okay. The next question is, what is my favorite shade of green? I would have to say it's something like... It's like this. I think this is a really nice green. I would either say this or... It's like more emerald color. I think is really nice. I would say this top one is more like a teal. Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like a blue-green. I would say mint is more like this. This even. So I would say either emerald or teal would be my favorite greens. It's nice that I have the color wheel here, so I could just, like, show you how to describe it. If I was really daring, because I wouldn't call this green, but I really like this. But I would call this blue. I wouldn't call it green. Like, even on the color wheel, it's not really on the green end. It's more on the blue end. Turquoise more than teal, so, like this. Yeah. Yeah, it's like right on the cusp of green and blue. Yeah. But if I were to say, like, green, it'd be more like that. People who are colorblind right now are going, huh? What is she talking about? I'm talking about green! Green and blue. Yeah, so I guess it depends. I don't normally go into, like, this end of green. This, like, warmer end of green. Typically, I like the cooler ends of green. Like, even this is, like, right in the middle of the green color wheel. So I do kind of tend towards the cooler tones of green. Yeah, Baja Blast Green. Baja Blast Green is nice. Love some Baja Blast. We're gonna do, like, this, and we're gonna come back to this shape later. Because I think this is, like, a big... Over here, I think, is a big place where we're gonna put butterflies and stuff. So, we're gonna sort of keep that open for now. Because one of the things that I want to do... Let me turn the opacity down here. Is I want to layer it... Put, like, a belt across here. And then sort of layer it this way and make a kind of half skirt. Or we could do, like, this shape. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like that. Okay. Next question. We're going through these questions really fast, so you guys are more than welcome to keep submitting more questions. We're going to be here for a minute. I have an obligation in 3 hours, and that's it. So, we can fill up. We can fill up with questions. Hi, Mel. Welcome home, my dear. Okay, the next question is... Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you think so. The next question is Ciri a fae? So this character on screen. The way that I have written... When we debut Saoirse, you guys are going to get blasted with the lore info. I have drafted an animatic to explain all the lore to you guys from Saoirse's perspective. But the way that I have the magic system written in my world is that to be quote-unquote fae means you are contracted to the spirit of the world. The spirit of Earth. So basically the greater being of things that aren't human, to put it basically. So a fae is any creature that is a servant to the spirit of light or the spirit of Earth. If you consider the fae in that regard, in the universe that I have written, how do I put this? Super Kamiguru? I don't know what that is, but it sounds right. In the lore that I have written, Ciri is technically not a fae. Ciri is contracted to something that isn't of the earth. However, and I guess I can reveal this because you guys can put 2 and 2 together. Ciri is not a fae. Saoirse is. Let me put Saoirse back up so you guys can see her again. Shout out to Almsy for doing this art for me. So me, Ciri, I'm not fae. Saoirse is. I don't want to elaborate any more on that because you guys are going to see. You're going to see what I'm talking about. But even from the image, I'm sure that you can put it together. Like what goes on, what happens. Yeah, this is by Almsy on Twitter. ALMSI. She's done a couple of images of Saoirse. She did this of Saoirse, and then I can show you the other one that Almsy did of Saoirse, which is really pretty. Hold on, let me grab it. I usually, when it comes to Saoirse, I like commissioning either Almsy or Crow. Crow also does really pretty Saoirse art. Where is... Here it is. Ooh, girl. Hold on. I'm gonna put it... There we go. This is the other Saoirse art done by Almsy. I'm gonna put it with the other. Where's Saoirse 1? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So you get one or the other. But yeah, this is gonna be the 2.0. And I got a new logo recently. That it is Saoirse themed. You're gonna see my new logo more and more over time. But it is themed around Saoirse because the plan is eventually to pivot, and instead of Ciri being representative of my channel, it's going to be Saoirse, but I have a long road before we can fully make that transition happen. Okay. Bye, Saoirse. I hope that answers the question of if Ciri is fae. Technically, no. Ciri is not fae. Siri has lots of Fae friends. There is no discrepancy between if you're Fae or if you're not in the world that I've written. But Siri herself is not. Not yet, anyways. Gonna put this shape in. Yeah, I love Omzi. Siri is faint. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to just put this. I think it would be cute if I did like a little tailcoat like this as well. Yeah, that'd be cute. Hi, Bixie. The next question is, what media has been most impactful on me lately? Hi. Hi, PX. I just took her out. She's fine. In terms of impact, we watched Project Hail Mary the other night. And I really liked that movie, which was funny because I talked to Mama Owl about it and she didn't like it. She was like, it was too long. And I was like, really? I really enjoyed it. Rocky is great. Amaze, amaze, amaze. Yeah, I really liked that. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about that movie. Pigs, go lay down. Lay down. Lay down, baby. It's not time yet. There have been a couple of VNs that I have watched lately that I've become obsessed with. I don't want to name them because it's like it's kind of for me, you know? But those have really inspired me lately to keep working. And also have weirdly been helping me sleep better because I think I like pour all my energy into them. And I really enjoyed those. I feel like there's another piece of media lately that I've been participating in that I'm really... This is a weird answer to this question, but the SVA talents. Obviously, I'm really immersed in the SVA talents, and I really love them. I work for SVA, even, but just the things that they've been doing are really inspiring, and I think that SVA is going to have a big summer. I'm really looking forward to the things that they're making and the things that they're doing, and they're probably one of my biggest inspirations. You recommend the Project Hail Mary audiobook? I'll have to look into that. I did really like the movie, like a lot more than I thought I would. So that gives me high hopes for the audiobook, because that was the thing that me and Mama Owl disagreed on with Rocky, is that she couldn't get into him because she was like, I can't like a rock. And I'm like, really? I felt like they did such a good job giving him a personality and making him lovable. And she was like, I don't understand why they made him a rock. And I was like, well, the whole point is that, like, something so unfamiliar and so unlike humanity, but yet still reaches the same goal. Like, how else can you describe... Because if you think about planets, right? Even just the planets in our solar system, planets don't have like an Earth you can walk around on, or sometimes they don't. And they're just made of gases and a mixture that we can't really understand. Some of the planets are just soup, you know? Well, that was one of the things that she said. She was like, I guess I can understand it from the basis of, people used to have pet rocks, and she's like, I tried to understand it from that point of view, but she's like, I just couldn't do it. And I was like, you know, my My Mama Owl, I love her. She is very, like, left-brained to a fault. So I can understand it from her perspective. If it's not something she's familiar with, it's really hard for her to engage with it, and that's just who she is. Yeah, we love Soup Planet. Okay, just checking. They do this thing with the audio where since Rocky is actually talking with chimes, they play the chimes at the same time as his translates. Yeah! Yeah, I really liked that part. I thought Rocky's, like, the noises that he made were so soothing. I don't think... This is a weird statement. Let me try to make it not weird in my head before I say it loud. I think they did a really good job of not making Rocky too jarring. I think they did a really good job translating Rocky into something so unfamiliar, but also understandable. I also like that Rocky wasn't dumb. Rocky was substantially smarter than Grace. And I think that really helped with the portrayal of the movie as a whole. I'm really glad that, like... Yeah, if Rocky was dumb, I would have hated the movie. But the fact that Rocky was smart, I was rooting for him the whole movie. I was like, thank God. Thank God this alien rock man is about to save all of humanity. The way they positioned him as a very smart with some things, but kind of clueless with other things is really fun. Yeah, well, the thing is that, like, that whole scene where Rocky... he, like, busts his way into the spaceship, and he's like, what's this? What is this? Why is it dirty? What's going on here? It was so cute to watch, because it was, like... he was so intelligent, and he could pick up on things so fast, but he knew that he didn't know what was going on. Rocky's one of the engineers from the alien ship. Grace is just some guy. That's true. That is true. I really like that they have super long names for each other. I thought that felt like a bit. Maybe in the book, it's a bit different. But the bit of having, like, super long names, I was like, alright, whatever. That was the one thing that I was like, okay, sure. Sure, man. We're gonna do something kind of complex with the shoes. I don't normally do really complex shoes, but we're gonna do something more complex with the shoes here. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like that shoe. I love that from the clips I saw, I immediately pegged Rocky as, oh god, this movie is about two nerds in a can. I know, it was so cute. They're like little friendship. It was so nice. The next question is, what is your most cherished piece of work, if willing to share? I don't know that I've created anything recently that I would say hit quite as hard as the Weeping Bride. Some of you remember my Weeping Bride illustration from quite a few years ago. I don't think I've created anything since that hit quite as hard as that illustration. I do really like the merch art that I did, specifically the one where I'm holding the tablet pen. I really enjoyed that one. I don't know that I would call it my magnum opus by any means, but there's something about that piece that really represents me in a way that was very, very pleasing. very satisfying. Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to do a merch run with the Weeping Bride. Beautiful piece. I probably won't ever again, just because, like, she's been around the block, you know? But, man, what a time that was. The Weeping Bride was especially impressive because I sat down and I did the Weeping Bride in, like, an hour. I was on something that day. Crazy work. And then I think this one, we're just gonna have it go all the way up the leg. Just all the way up. Just like that. I'm trying not to answer any more questions until after the ad break. Because we have an ad break in like a moment. I mean, if models count, I think that this outfit means a lot to me. I did work really hard on this outfit. But I think that's the best I've got in terms of... I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've made a lot of art in the past year, so it's really hard to say. I have pieces that I feel like hit really well, like the piece I did for Ego Galaxy. I thought that hit really well. Alright, that's our 3-minute break. So I'm gonna go take a break while you guys do. I'll be right back. I'm back. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Also, welcome home, everyone. If I didn't say welcome home to you, welcome home. Welcome home. Thank you. Thank you. I said it before. I'll say it again. Submissions for questions is still open. So if I say something and you think of a question, feel free to submit it. I want to answer your burning quandaries. Okay. Speaking of questions, our next question, it is a question of all time. Egg. That's the question. So, during the holiday donathon, I introduced the eggs, and the eggs all had different designs on them. And the idea is that over time, you know, they would hatch. And people have been asking about the eggs. I did not consider how much work I was making for myself when I did the eggs. And I keep telling you guys that the eggs are incubating. It is because I have another screen in my OBS that is literally a hatchery with all of the eggs from the holiday donathon. And when I am past this work hump, because there's a really big thing coming up that I need to get past before I can really start doing a whole bunch of stuff again, I'll bring the eggs back and we'll do egg check-ins, and it'll be a whole other aspect of stream. I've never forgotten about the eggs. They're still there. I've been making content around the eggs. But until that point, I do ask for some grace, because I'm working really hard. I'm trying to make it all as immersive and as fun as possible, but not at the sacrifice of my own health. So if I seem a little dodgy about the eggs, like, please understand. It's just because yeah. It took me a minute. I'm not trying to steal grades from Rocky. I do. If I had a nickel for every time I've gone to urgent care because I've worked too hard, I might be able to pay my bills from urgent care. So, just having that understanding, I really appreciate it. They're gonna come back. You just gotta stay with me. There's a lot of things that I want to do, but the amount of work that I have in front of me is immeasurable. I know that that's not what that question was asking. The question just said egg. And I kind of made it my own thing. But, I did want to clear the air, because people, every once in a while, they do come in and they ask about the eggs. And they're like, where's the eggs? I miss the eggs. I'm like, no eggs for now. Yeah. We'll have eggs. The eggs will return, just not soon. I've said my piece. I have no more to say concerning eggs. Okay. The next question is, how many pets do you have in your household? So, one of our pups passed away recently. And one of our cats is 18 years old. So, we are keeping an eye on our geriatric cat. She doesn't require a lot of care, but she is very dicey. As you can tell, our animals live a long time when they live with us. But we don't know how long we have with specifically that cat, because she gets in a lot of fights. And we can't get her to stop getting in fights despite the fact that she's very old. So, for now, we have 4 animals. Rather or not, we still have 4 animals by the end of the year. I'm knocking on wood. You know what I'm saying? Our animals are all very old. We don't have a single animal that's under 10 years old. Well, maybe Arcana is under 10 years old. That's possible. We don't know how old Arcana is, though. Arcana probably is the youngest animal, actually. All of our other animals are definitely over 10 years old. But the fox kind of feels like one of our animals now. We don't really take care of the fox, but the fox does live in close quarters to us, and we see the fox like nearly every day now. The fox and her cubs. So if we count the fox and her cubs, we have a ton of animals. Yeah, Kana was definitely a kitten. He was very malnourished too. So I would say he is about like, at his youngest, he's like 6, maybe 7. Yo. Yeah. So yeah, we have Arcana. We have Storm. We have Sally, who is our 18-year-old cat. And then we have Pixie, who's my puppy, who I'm always having to get up and take care of, and you hear her come in quite a bit. Okay. The next question is, what are you looking forward to most in Evercold? Evercold being the new Final Fantasy XIV expansion coming out in winter. Honestly, the story. I'm looking forward to the story. I love Pixie songs. Yeah, I still gotta get her to come in here. If she comes back down here, I'll get her to sing Figaro for you guys. But yeah, Evercold, I think I'm really excited about the story. There's not a lot else that I'm really excited about, if I'm being totally honest. I barely even remember a lot of the other stuff that was announced for Evercold. I like the story from Final Fantasy XIV, and that's kind of the biggest thing for me. Any of the gameplay stuff, it's like, I do that with my friends, and if my friends don't want me, then I don't do it at all, you know? So, that's kind of that. Mm-hmm. Do your OCs explicitly come from ideas for OCs, or concepts that you eventually manifest into OCs, if that makes sense? I'm trying to think of how to answer this. I'm thinking through, because I've shown you guys Saoirse. Another OC that I have, that if you've been here for a really long time, you remember this character, Socks, which is a character from the Fable universe. Let me find Socks to show you guys. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Hold on. Let me fix her. There we go. So this is Socks. And Socks was a character who she was designed for the Fable universe because she was supposed to be like a an assistant fairy. Her whole thing is that she, alongside Ciri, helps with the mending of garments because Ciri is a dressmaker. So Socks does the mending of garments. Obviously, I had a bit of a theme here. She was supposed to be like vaguely Scottish-esque. She's a calico ragdoll cat, and ragdoll more in a literal sense that she's made up of rags. So she's kind of like stitched and pieced together. She's supposed to be like kind of scrappy looking. That was the idea behind Socks. And when I wrote the story in universe behind Socks specifically, and I'm using Socks as an example because she's kind of like the safest character for me to talk about without giving too much away. One of the things that I wanted to explore with Socks was the idea Socks isn't the only expanded Fae character. There are 3 that come to my head, and then I think I have a file with 2 others. But Socks is kind of the big one because we've seen her on the channel before. We even have an emote for Socks. But with Socks, she's scrappy. She has like a I can do anything attitude. She's high energy. She's also like a little bit what's the word? She's funny. Like, she could take a joke and she could tell one, you know? One of the things with Socks that I was kind of exploring, and this is a little dark, is this theme of, like, when you get hurt as a child and putting yourself together as an adult. That was sort of the idea behind her patches. I have a song half written for Socks, that if I ever got the money, I was gonna put forward producing the song. But the song is a song about, like, when things tear you apart and when you get damaged and hurt, how the different scraps of your life can come together and can put you back together again. So you might not be the same as you were before. You might look different, but it's still you. You're just patched up now. And you take on life in a new way. And that was kind of what Socks was meant to represent, was how these different patches are kind of different life experiences that she's gone through, and how she has been resourceful and navigating those things, and putting all the pieces together in a way that makes her uniquely her, was the big concept behind Socks. All of my characters tend to have a big concept behind them, in the same way that Socks does. I have 2 other Fae characters that follow the same design mentality as Socks. They have an overarching theme that their design is representative of. Saoirse, for example, let me see. This way you can see Saoirse's leg. One of the concepts behind Saoirse was hanging on by a thread. So Saoirse and Ciri are the same character, just at 2 different points in time. And in the theme of healing, I wanted to incorporate the dressmaker past into Saoirse's design. And so you see her arm is wrapped, her leg is wrapped, and kind of throughout her bust and midsection, there's like different threads going back and forth. And there's even pieces of like the black and white theme in her bodice. It's all like, it was my way of trying to design a character who's trying to take what she had and put it back together in a way that it fits, was sort of the design theory behind Saoirse. So I generally, when it comes to designing these characters and how I want to portray them, I will usually have like, how do I put this idea on paper? How do I convey this specific mentality in a way that I think people will look at the character and they will inherently understand? Ciri, for example, not so much in this outfit. Her original outfit, which I can't change to right now, the idea was like a balance, right? The black and white hair was meant to be a balance between something comfortable and something chaotic. There's also some things about Ciri that are meant to represent like having a great loss and having to navigate and adjust in a way that is unique to Ciri. One of the biggest things about Ciri that I share is that despite the fact that Ciri is a snowy owl, she doesn't have any wings. And the way that Ciri deals with that as a dressmaker is that when she wears outfits, she likes outfits with lots and lots of ruffles and lots of layers, because they remind Ciri of what it was like to have wings, to have all of those feathers on her back. And that is why a lot of Ciri's outfits they're not sleek. They're usually very fluffy looking. So it's that same design concept. Oh, sorry, I had to do a big stretch. Whoa. Among other things. It's also why Ciri and Saoirse both have this porcelain pale skin tone, is because they're not supposed to look human, really. They're supposed to look, wait for the hydrate, Nova. They're supposed to look kind of non-human, almost porcelain doll-esque. People have also compared Ciri to a harlequin. That's fine, too. However you interpret it. It's supposed to be a little bit, like, non-human. There's supposed to be a distinction there. Thank you for the hydrate. That did help. Thank you again to everyone who's submitting questions. I really appreciate it. I really like doing the AMAs, so it means a lot to me. Okay. I'm gonna kind of clean up the bow here so we can see what's happening. There we go. And we're gonna do a pattern here. That. And then she's gonna have, it's gonna come across like that. Okay. I think we're gonna start cleaning this up a little bit. Is the next move here for this design. I'm gonna put little circles here. Like that. The next question is DSR when? So this has been a meme on my channel for a long time. Do I still have the meme image? Is this it? No. I need to label these things. What is this? Oh, it's Doug Dimmadome. I don't know. I don't think I have this image. What is this? Oh, that's not it. Anyways. I don't have it on me right now, but we have had a long-standing meme on this channel about me and Autumn doing DSR. And I don't know if it'll ever come to fruition, if I'm honest. My static has chosen to do T instead of DSR, and I'll be streaming part of T. So I know every time I'm like, I need to label these, and then I never do it. This we can get rid of. This we've seen. We can get rid of this one. We don't need that. Yeah. Surprise, it's me. But yeah, so DSR win, probably never. We're gonna be doing T, and that's all there is. I think this one's the Windex. Yeah, this one's the Windex. Hey, I've got socks and Saoirse labeled. That's all I need. Nothing else is... Is this? What is this? Nothing. Cool. Yeah, we got the important ones. Okay. We're gonna start doing some like clean lines on this because it's hard to see. So we're gonna bring this down, and we're gonna start doing our lines. Okay. Oh, that was actually the button to release 10,000. Oh, was it? Hate that. As long as they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, the next question is... Would you consider an updated fictional men tier list stream? I'm assuming by this you mean like what me and Autumn did, where we went through each other's fictional men list and we rated each other's. Because I just saw Brett's comment. Because if I were to rate my own fictional men, they would all be an S tier, because of course they are my fictional men. And Aubrey Plaza. Maybe if I found somebody else who is as down bad as I am, I would be willing to do another ranking each other's fictional men stream. But I feel like doing another one with Autumn, it would just be more of the same. Like, it would be the same things from the first one. Do I have more fictional men to add to my fictional men list? I don't think so. I do have fictional characters that I have bonded with, but I hesitate to put them on the list because their stories aren't finished yet. Like, I did talk about Kiefer from Witch Hat Atelier, but I don't actually know what his deal is yet. And I can't commit yet. The new guy from Nikki? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I gotta think about it. I know. McGill. McGill is calling. I haven't finished the Nikki story yet. Yeah, after I finish the Nikki story, we'll see. I just would hate to put McGill on there, and then we never have another story patch of him ever. So it's a hot maybe. I don't know. I feel like there's a few guys that I could put on the fictional men list, but I'm just hesitating. I know. Well, I wanted to put the other Infinity Nikki man on there, but he showed up for like the housing quest and then never anything, and her birthday, and then never anything else. Like, he just does the house thing. And that's it. And I was really hoping that we would get story with him in the 2.0, but we didn't. He's just gone. So I'm like, alright. Goodbye, sir. You're very attractive. Time to never see you again, I guess. I don't know. I would love to put Miguel on my list. I know. We never saw him again. If they're gonna be on my fictional men list, they have to, like, be there, you know? They have to show some form of, like, I'm here for you. And a lot of Nikki men just do not do that. So, to answer the question, I would be willing to do another fictional men tier list stream if I found somebody else who is down bad for fictional men as I am. But I honestly cannot think of anybody who has as prolific a list as me and Autumn, in the organized fashion that me and Autumn have our lists. Do these eyes. I'm gonna look at the next question. Siri has these like tiny little itty brows. Itty brows. So the requirements are not only to be down horrendous, but also organized and obsessed. Well, that's what I'm saying. Me and Autumn, like, we didn't have to spend a lot of time deliberating about who was on the list because we both already had organized lists. We both knew A to Z who we were bringing to the table. I feel like most people, if you ask them, they're like, I guess I could come up with a list. They don't have one on hand. You have to, like, have one on hand ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Okay. The next question is, do you touch grass? Or do you eat grass? I eat a lot of salad. So, okay. I want to talk about this for a second. Because to me, when people say you need to touch grass, I assume they mean, like, go for a nature walk. Go to a park. Go do something in nature that requires you to soak up sunlight. Go, like, be one with the world. And enjoy yourself in a way that does not require social validation. That is what I assume is meant by touching grass, right? But to some people, touch grass means, like, to do things that are social, not on the internet. I don't like this line. We're gonna do, like... How are we gonna do this line? My lawnmower threw away. I touch grass, like, I'll go on nature walks. I'll go to the park. I like to, you know, spend time with Pixie, and I'll take Pixie to the park or something like that. Stick to leaves. Got it. Noted. So yeah, I'd have to say I am a touch grass person, despite the fact that I do eat a lot of salads. I eat at least 4 salads a week. So I do be a grass eater too. I do both. Multifunctional owl. Eat grass, touch grass. Immerse myself with grass. Bum, ba-dum. Okay. The next question is, will we get Saoirse merch down the line? Yes. Yeah, you will. When we do the Saoirse debut, which is not scheduled yet, and it probably won't be scheduled for at least half a year, if not a year. Yes, there will be a full merch line. Including but not limited to a body pillow, which will be Siri and Saoirse. You'll get a standee. There will likely be either like a sticker or a keychain. And yeah, you'll get Saoirse merch for sure. Probably a desk mat too. Yeah, but not for a while. For right now, we have new merch, but it's my birthday merch. ! Merch in chat to check that out. But yeah, 100%. Will you get Saoirse merch soon? I could be convinced. I could be convinced to give you guys something for Halloween. Maybe. We'll see. You guys could convince me. If you guys rally together and you're like, Fable, we want Halloween Saoirse merch, maybe. I'm just really reluctant to release Saoirse merch before I finish the model. I want there to be a model when she has merch, but I already have stickers for Saoirse. I just have them in person. I give them out during cons and stuff. Saoirse standee. Yeah, you guys like standees, huh? By the way, if you haven't gotten your birthday merch, please put your orders in. It means a lot to me when you guys get my merch. So you should do that. Okay. Trying to get this hair just right before I move on to the next question. Yeah, all of the merch is stuff that I make myself. So when you guys support the merch, you are directly supporting me, and that's why it's such a big deal to me. Whenever you guys get merch, it's because it's like, this is my art. You own my art. I hope you guys feel like cool art collectors. As you are. Okay. Next question. Yeah, the cup is so cute. I still need to take a photo of it. The next question is, do you still watch anime? Occasionally. I've been watching Gachinka, I think it's called. I've been watching Witch Hat Atelier. I've been watching, I want the new Apothecary Diaries season to come out. And that I've been waiting for. I low-key been rewatching Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. I think that anime is so cute. And it brings me so much joy. I've been wanting to rewatch Tokyo Mew Mew, the new Tokyo Mew Mew, but it's not extremely accessible, so it's a little bit of a hard watch. So yeah, I do sort of watch anime. Kinda, sorta. I've loved Observation Log this season. Full name, Observation Log of my fiance who calls herself a villainess. See, the villainess series, I don't understand. Is it one anime or is it a bunch? I want to get into it, but I don't know where to start with the villainess. Because there's a whole bunch of animes who's like, I became the villainess or something like that. It's like a villainous isekai. And I don't... It's intimidating. Where do I start with that? Yeah. Are they related, or are they just like... It's a whole bunch of different villainesses. This one is a first season. Oh, okay, they're all different? Okay. In that case, I'll probably watch it, because it looks cute. I just thought it was all, like, the same villainess, and she was just doing a whole bunch of stuff in a whole bunch of places. I had no idea. I didn't know what was going on with the villainess. I was like, man, she sure gets around. Got it. Okay. So it's just like a trend. And you said the observation log. Okay. I'll put that in my to-watch list. I'll probably enjoy it. This question, I don't quite know how to answer it. It says, which is better, baking bread or butter coleslaw? And what? Am I baking the bread? Or am I buttering the coleslaw? What is going on here? Baking bread or butter coleslaw? What? Good question. Next question. Wait, am I supposed to understand this? Is this an inside joke? I mean, I guess baking bread. Baking bread or butter? Oh! Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. Got it. Got it. Better Call Saul. If I have to choose between Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, Better Call Saul, definitely. Especially the first couple seasons. Yeah. Maybe we should do a villainous watch along at my Discord. I think that would be fun. I do have Crunchyroll right now. Because I need to know if Queefree is husband material. Or wife material. Or however Queefree identifies. I still have not decided. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Butter coleslaw rules. How was I supposed to interpret that? I'm glad that you were here to tell me what that was. Let's take this in a little bit. I'm kind of glad that I chose to do art and these questions at the same time, because it does take a little bit of the pressure off. Okay. By doing my best? Oh, well, you inspire me to do my best. As a reminder, the AMA form is still open, so if I answer something and you have another question and you want clarification, you feel free to submit another question. The next question is there any specific type of horror that you enjoy the most and or the least? Maybe not and, but or the least. Yeah, specifically, I really like psychological horror. It's funny because I'm not a huge horror fan, not really, but my favorite movies are actually horror movies. And it's because I really enjoy psychological horror. Especially like Midsummer, The Menu, I really like. There's some other ones too, that have that same kind of like eerie psychological vibe. That I really enjoy. People always, when they hear that I like psychological horror, I feel like people are always like, oh, have you tried this one, this one, this one? That would be my favorite. My least favorite, however, would be slashers. Slashers or anything that's just like violence for the sake of violence. If it's just someone being violent, to me, it reads as cowardly. It's not scary to me, it's just sad. If you just have a desire to be violent, I don't think highly of that. I think it's just sad. And so I don't enjoy those movies. There's a lot of movies that, like, people's favorite part is the like, you know, the stunts. And for me, the stunts is when I, like, get up to use the bathroom, you know? I'm not there for that. I'm there for the plot and the characters and the story. I'm not really a high action person. Okay, let me put these... Oh, no, not that. Let me put these in a folder and then turn on the opacity because it's hard to see. There we go. Okay. Let me do the little headband. Now that I've changed the head shape, I'm like, what? Girl, how do I do this headband? Yeah. It's fine, I'll just warp it into place. That looks good. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see what our next question is. Our next question is, in what way could a stranger make your day? I'm assuming by stranger you mean like someone who doesn't know me and I don't know them, I think I've never really thought about it. Because if they're a stranger, it's harder for me to, like, accept anything. If I don't know them... It's kind of like, you don't really want a stranger doing things for you, because you don't want them making that kind of investment without you really knowing who they are. I guess it's nice when, like, strangers offer to pay for food for you, but even then, I've never had a stranger offer to pay for food for me without it being like, okay, now I'm gonna preach to you for however many hours. Or they want something in return. So I think the nicest thing a stranger could do for me is just, like, I guess taking a moment to learn about me. But like, even then, I'm like, I don't know that I want to tell a stranger that much about me. Other than I stream on the internet, and any stranger could come in at any point and hear me answer these questions and learn so much about me. I guess just learning about, I don't know. I don't want to say leave me alone, but I'm kind of like, not be a stranger is my answer to this question. Take the time to get to know me. But not for the sake of getting to know me, just, like, for the sake of not being a stranger. The best thing a stranger could do for me is not be a stranger. That's my answer. Final answer. Locking it in. If they want to be my friend, then be my friend. There we go. I like that better. And then we can take this and we can, like, we have to use that. And to get that same arc, mostly. Yeah. It is a hard question. Because it just depends so much on the context. Of, like, how am I meeting this stranger? How does that progress? And what kind of person are they? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try to do something with the hair. And it might work against me. We'll see. Receiving a random compliment? Okay, this is gonna sound kind of mean. When people give me random compliments on the street, sometimes it hits, but sometimes I'm like, don't observe me. I don't want to be observed. It's kind of like, I don't know, there's a piece of me that I'll receive a compliment from a stranger, and it'll be like, I must look like I'm having a really bad day. Like, they must think that I was really depending on their kindness to get through this. Yeah, and it's more of that, like, what is it that they really want from me type mentality. It's so, like, it's hard to describe. Mm-hmm. Let me put her little... Well, let me try doing this hair thing first, and then, we'll do her head feathers. I'm thinking with her hair, Like, I want to do, like, these type curls. These, like, tendril curls. I think these could look really pretty. And do, like, a really, really curly haired look. Ah, yes, exactly the fear of why I don't talk to people in public. Well, people can talk to me in public. It's just like, sometimes it's hit or miss, whether or not they come off the way that they think they come off. Because I'm really friendly. And most people, if they come up to me, I'll give them the time of day. But there is a level of, like, what is the expectation here? And so in terms of being kind to me in public, I will say I was at a Renaissance festival last year, and my nose started bleeding, and this guy, he was drunk. I could tell he was drunk, but he came right up to me, and he's like, "Sweetheart, you tell me who I need to beat up. You tell me who did this to you. I will take vengeance right here and now." He was so sweet. I was like, wow, you're very passionate about this. I was like, you don't need to beat anyone up, but I do need to get to a bathroom and, like, get some paper towels. And so he, like, drunk off his ass, escorted me to the bathroom, and he's like, you tell me what you need paper towels, got it. Him and his friends, they were so nice. That was really kind. I really enjoyed that. People at the Ren Fair are some of, like, the best people. Yeah, I think this hair is working out. I think this is the kind of hair that I want to do. Where you get to be the himbo you play in D&D. No, it was so good, though. Because he was dressed up like a warrior. Him and his friends, they were all in cosplay. And they were like, Princess, you tell us who it is. And I was in, like, my pink, like, my bodice and my flowy lace skirt. And I had on my flower crown and my elf ears. And that was a cute interaction. I really enjoyed that. I had, like, butterflies in my hair and everything. They were ready. They were like, give us our quest. Yeah, I'm really liking how this hair is turning out. I think this, like, curly tendril look. Let me see. I do it this way. Adventures can spell plot hook from across the fair. Well, that's what it was. They were like, a fairy princess bleeding in front of us. Looks like it's quest time. It was really cute. Oh my gosh, my things aren't working. Lemon Drops, hello my dear, welcome home. Yeah, in about a minute we're gonna have a little ad break. When you guys take a break, I take a break too, so don't worry about missing anything. Yeah, that was really fun. The next question is... Wait, let me read it verbatim. FableCon 2027 tickets win? No. We're not doing that. I will... you know, I've had a lot of experience lately with the inner workings of conventions. With my job working in SVA, I get to see a lot of the inner workings of conventions. And I can tell you that I never want to run one. Never want to run one. I love working with VTubers. I love working with convention guests. I love working with fans. I never want to run one. This is not working out the way I want it to. We're gonna do another little tendril, and we're just gonna like do like that. And I think that looks better. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, the curly hair look looks really good with this. Speaking of conventions, if you're gonna be at MomoCon, I'm gonna be doing a meet and greet. And that's our 3-minute break. So I will be right back. Everybody make sure to get up, stretch, get something to eat, get a snack. We'll be right back. Did you guys get a stretch? Did you get a drink? Did you do lots of stuff? I did lots of stuff. Hi! We're back. You were in Atlanta last weekend, but not for this weekend? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, maybe in the future you come to one of my meet and greets, and that would be a lot of fun. All right, let me take a sip. The next question. Let me refresh this just to make sure. Okay. If you had to make a quick tier list of every planet in the solar system, excluding Pluto, what would that look like? I would have to say Earth would likely be number 1. Neptune number 1 easy? I don't know, Neptune is pretty far up there. Also, hi Bambi, welcome home. But I mean, we live on Earth. I gotta say Earth is number 1. Like, it supports life. Oh my god, you guys are so passionate about planets! I do really like Earth. So Earth is number 1. Neptune's a really good one. Like, Neptune just seems really refreshing. Yeah. I love having oxygen, yeah. Yeah, I would have to say Neptune is 2. I'm really thinking about this. You can tell because I've stopped drawing so I can put my hand on my chin to think about planets. Uranus? I actually don't care for that one. It's, like, it's fine as far as planets go, but it's not, like, the first one I think about. So yeah, Earth is 1, Neptune is 2. It is pretty, you're right about that. I would have to say, okay, Earth 1, Neptune 2, Saturn 3. I really like Saturn. 4, I'm gonna give to Venus. Because Great Ball of Fire, essentially. Oh, I'm sorry. No one knows what you even do. I like Mercury, like the Sailor Scout, but Mercury the planet? Yeah, I don't know. When Mercury's in retrograde, everything just is the worst ever. Other than being closest to the sun, I know. Who put Mercury in the microwave? So I said Earth, Neptune, Saturn, Venus. Yeah, Earth, Neptune, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, because I like the ring. The ring is nice. When the planet gets me a ring, I like that. I like that. Jupiter. Then I would say Mars. Then I would say Uranus. Then I would say Mercury. Yeah. That's my list. I would put Mercury last, which kind of hurts because I do really love Sailor Mercury. She's my favorite Sailor Scout. But like the planet itself, you know. That's my official list. I know you guys were wanting an official list of planets from me for a long time, so I'm glad I could deliver. What? Okay, then be a Mercury Defender. What is your defense? Mercury Defender. I just don't feel like... Like, what are you gonna do on Mercury? What is the plan with Mercury that puts it in a higher level? Yeah, I think this is looking really nice so far. You just think it's neat? Well, I can't say that your defense speaks of very much of anything. I would put Earth first because it has good tortilla chips, true. Then Mars because it's full of friends, the rovers, true. Then Jupiter because big, true. Then after that it's nitpicking. I see. No strong feelings about Saturn? I don't know. I have really strong feelings about Saturn. I think Saturn's really nice. How's Fable today? I'm good. Welcome home, Samson. My alerts have stopped working, so if somebody redeems something, can you please let me know? Saturn is iconic. I love Saturn. It's got the big old rings. You gotta love a planet that has rings. It's extremely hot and cold at the same time, so you can be whatever temperature you want. It has a super short year, so time flies by. It's extremely dense, just like me. I don't think that's selling Mercury the way that you think it is. Saturn's pretty good. Doesn't have the good tortilla chips, but it's definitely after Jupiter. Well, the nice thing about Saturn is that if your man doesn't get you a ring, Saturn will. Aha! Aha! Anyways. I like rings. I like peach rings. I like Saturn rings. I like gold rings. Rings! I'm a Sonic enthusiast. I like Jupiter because there's a bunch of fun moons. That's a good reason to like Jupiter. I approve of this Jupiter affection that you have. Rings! I know, right? That's what it's all about here. Rings. It's fine. I could be on that layer. Don't worry about it. I'm a sucker for an underdog, so Pluto stan. Yeah, but the question specified that I can't have Pluto. So I'm honoring the person who asked this question. And their insistence that I can't have Pluto. Yeah, that's fine. You're right, Uranus does have rings. I like Saturn's rings, though. Got my little jester hat. I'm a silly little lady. You guys remember when I got really excited about being a clown on stream and the police were called? I thought that was really fun. It was a fun activity for everyone. Yeah, I put Neptune pretty high on the list. Yeah. I got really excited about being a clown and the police were called. Well, they were in my house. There were like policemen in my house because of a thing that was going on. Nothing bad. They were just there. And I started getting really excited on stream. And I was going ham about clowns. And they were like knocking on the door and they were like, is everything okay in there? It's very embarrassing. I had to tell them about the clowns. My VTuber was on my computer screen. I was like, no, I'm just excited about clowns. And they were like, okay. Yeah. It did. It happened on stream. I still have the like clip for it. I gotta find an editor to edit the clip. But it did happen. I was very embarrassed. Yeah. Put my little butterflies. My little butterflies on my little jester hat. My little butterflies. Thank you for the lyric! Remember, you always have a home here. I was just clowning around. The next question asks, how long have you been, forklift certified? I have not. For negative years, because it has not happened. I cannot operate a forklift legally. It's hard to disappoint. I'm sorry. I know some of you were really depending on me as your official forklift streamer. Alas, not I, said the owl. We're gonna put little bells at the end too. I love a little bell. You don't believe me? You know what? You would be the one to doubt me. And my not being forklift certified. Okay. Little bells. There. Now I have my little bells. I really like this outfit. I'm really enjoying this so far. Thank you again for all of you who are submitting questions. So, this next question, the way that it was written is pretty aggressive. And it does not come across as in good faith. However, despite that, I think that it's something that a lot of people wonder about. And as much as it probably would be best for me just to skip it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it my best answer, because it's not actually about me, it's just about VTubers in general. So I don't know that I want to read the way the question is written, because it doesn't come off as really nice. But it's essentially asking why do VTubers keep publishing on these websites where it's known that the companies do not have the most ethical business practices? Why is it that content creators keep publishing when knowledge is out there that these websites are predatory towards their user base? And the answer to that question is because they also mentioned in the question that there's a lot of other services that they could choose, but they're just not choosing them. And the reason is for the same reason that most companies have not left Twitter for Blue Sky. It is the same reason that these large corporations are staying on these platforms despite the fact that maybe they're not the most ethical decision. It is because that is where the audience is. They have cultivated an audience there. They are performing within their metrics. And it is incredibly, incredibly difficult to move an audience from one platform to another. A lot of people have tried to move audiences to different platforms. But the bottom line is that it's so hard to make that change happen. And I know that there is a mentality of like, well, if VTubers just started using these options, people would follow. Not necessarily, right? I know a lot of artists who lost a ton of people because despite the fact that they were big artists, they moved off platform. And instead of following that artist, people stayed on the platform and just found a new artist to follow. So if your focus is really bettering the cyberscape and really finding more achievable means for us to manage data, you have to be the change you see in the world. Be a leader. Cultivate the path. When you find success, others will follow. It will be an incredibly difficult path for you to take because of the nature of social media and the fact that people are so resistant to change. But also, most content creators are not politicians in nature. Most content creators are there for their specific passion, and they never intended to be a community leader in things like data or networking or whatever political issue is cropping up. The majority of content creators, they create content because they really like this game or they really like this concept. The fact that we put pressure on content creators to be world leaders is, I think, sometimes narrow-minded. Because we are taking these people who were untrained for those topics and putting them in this broad worldview context. So I hope that that answer was sincere enough to be interpreted the right way and to give a genuine answer to a question that I think a lot of people ask, is how do we be better? We be better by finding success in the way that we wish to do things, and then knowing that other people will follow. And orders don't come in when switching. Yeah, it's fine. I understand the concern, and I understand the need for questions like this. and I do understand the frustration behind them too, because like I said, the way that this question is worded, it's not worded very kindly, and I can understand why it is incredibly frustrating. So I empathize from that perspective, but I also am not an authority on these topics. So I can only answer in a way that is speculatory, and I can only give you a view from my perspective, but it is a far broader question than just one person. The very meat of this question lies in why are people the way that they are? And we could go into hours of discussion. But my purview is art and romance games and cozy games, and I like talking about fashion. Those are the things that you can really come to me about. Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, is that the whole thing behind content creators is that they are just like random people you meet on the street. You know? They didn't really go to school for this. They didn't really study to be politicians or anything of that nature. So we put a lot of faith into these random people. Anyways, I hope that I answered that question with the amount of grace that it required. Advice on... I don't know that I can give any advice on banana spiders. I could just say the word banana spiders and then X amount of people in my chat have a conniption fit. Speaking of which, the next question just says banana spiders? Guys, go off. Get your banana spiders. Banana spiders? Yeah. They exist, kind of. They're orb weavers. I went to the store the other day and I was watching a man unpack bananas and put them out on the display, and I remember thinking to myself, like, I sure hope there's no spiders in there. That would ruin that man's day. Oops, some spiders. The community is synced. I know. Who would have guessed? I agree to an extent. Stay on the larger platforms because at the end of the day, that's how you'll build a positive community of like-minded people and cultivate a place that's safe for a lot of... Exactly! Yeah. That is the idea. I also, like, I didn't prepare an answer to that question either, so it was word soup. If you were like, maybe she didn't mean it like this, you're probably right. I'm going off the cuff with all of these questions. So I didn't sit down and propose these questions to myself or rehearse them at all. I'm just, I'm just a woman on the internet with a microphone. But I do think people with large followings, large audiences do have a responsibility to be an advocate for large groups of people, whether that's political or not. We put a lot of faith into random people, but we do that when everyone goes to vote too. Be the change you want to see in the world, right? Yeah, of course. But when we go to vote for people who have studied world affairs. We vote for people who have an educational background versus large content creators typically have a niche and they have a platform that is based off of that specific niche, and they are likely uneducated on the kinds of social issues that it takes to make palpable change. And on a large scale, what a lot of social discourse boils down to is promoting the financial gain of platforms like Twitter and YouTube and anywhere where that heated discussion occurs. And it does less for the actual issue and more for the monetary gain of those platforms. Actual change in political society does not exist on social media. It exists, as we've stated, in the polls. That's my view, at least. I mean, you could do like charity drives. That's palpable change. But people don't go onto the internet to have their minds changed. They go onto the internet to be reaffirmed in their views. They're not researching how am I wrong. They're researching how can I be more right. And they're looking to whatever content creator it is that provides that for them. And if they don't find it in the content creator, they just leave. Okay. I'm gonna do like a little... Dun, 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 dun. Okay. We're gonna do like that. The next question. Thank you for the hydrate, Carrie. I just saw that. I'm sorry, my thing isn't working, so I'm gonna try to pop out my feed so that I can see when you guys redeem stuff. Thank you for the stream streaks, by the way. I didn't see that until now. Thank you, Farrakha, for the 10 stream. Thank you, Samson, for the 5 stream. Thank you, Gochu, for the 7 stream. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. Okay. The next question is, what places would you love to visit if you had the chance, time and issue not being an issue? Time and money not being an issue. I would like to visit Ireland. I would like to go there so that I can spread my father's ashes. I've been wanting to go for a really long time, but it's just never been in the cards for me. I don't make big trip money. So maybe one day I'll have the money to go to Ireland and spread my father's ashes. Because one of the last things that he did in his life was he went to Ireland and he loved it. He loved it so much. And so to have it be part of his final resting ground would be a huge honor. So that's kind of the biggest one. Other than that, I think that I would really like to go to... I've kind of fallen off wanting to go to Japan. I'm not as interested in going to Japan as I used to be. Like, it would be cool, but I don't know. I've been a little bit... Like, I'm fine. I'm fine not going to Japan, I think. Sweet. Sweet's one word for it. It's more so, like, just everything that I've been through. I would love to it would bring to close a chapter of my life, I think. I would also really like to go to Norway. I'd like to go to Switzerland, and I'd like to go to Norway. I used to want to go to Italy, but I've also kind of been on the, like, I don't know. I don't know if I do want to go to Italy. But I think, like, Scandinavian countries would be a lot of fun. What if I did, in the center of this bow here, I did like a... like that. I think that would look nice. New Zealand? New Zealand would be fun. One day, Nate, you'll make it to Let me go to Canada. You know, I think all of Canada is a nice visit. I can't say there's anywhere in Canada that I think you shouldn't visit. You should just go to all of Canada. As a Canadian, that's what I recommend. The Lord of the Rings pilgrimage would be really fun, I agree. I haven't seen the third one yet, though they'd probably detain me when they find out. What are you talking about? Did I blink out of a conversation? I feel like I blinked out of a conversation. I came back and you said you haven't seen the third one yet? Oh, the movies, the Lord of the Rings. Okay, okay. Right, okay. I'm back. I'm mentally back. Now I know what we're talking about. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay. The next question. What is a project you're working on that you can talk about that you're most excited for? I'm working on a visual novel. So you guys might have seen that I have started studying how to code in RenP, and I am making a demo right now for a larger project that hopefully we will see come to fruition within the year. The demo will not be public. The demo will be private. But I'm working on that demo, and it's just like a coding stretch to figure out if I can code a VN. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. What I'm finding is that although I like writing for projects exhausts me a lot. So I typically like it when other people write and I just produce the art and the code. But yeah, it's very exciting and I'm really looking forward to it. I don't like that. We're gonna take that away. We're not gonna do that. Yeah. Okay. Design is tiring. I can write like outlines of stuff, but writing is sometimes so mentally taxing that I'm like, let me just do what I know. And what I know is art, and then coding is pretty straightforward, because at least with coding, it's like, it's obvious when you're done. Writing is a medium where you never really feel done. There's always more that you could add to it. And it's like, I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to stop writing. You know? That's why it's so daunting. Okay. We only have a few more questions, so of course, as I said before, if you have any questions, now's a good time to get those in. What's the upper number of squirrels you could take in a fight? How many squirrels could I take in a fight? At least one. I could fight a squirrel. I don't want to fight a squirrel. But you know, if I'm in a car, that's a totally different story. The squirrels just happen to be there when I'm in car. It's like that scene in Willy Wonka. Hey Alpha, my dear, welcome home. Nobody wants to fight a squirrel. It's a godless task, I know. You've seen someone lose to a single squirrel? I mean, I think I could take at least one squirrel. With prior training and prep time. Yeah, at least one. I definitely would want to take more than 4 squirrels in a fight. Mostly because I just think that would look goofy. I don't want to look goofy. Also, did the squirrels know how to fight? Is my other question. Because I feel like most squirrels don't know how to fight. Most squirrels, when they see a human, they're just like running away. And if I have to beat them in a fight, like I would like the squirrels to know that we're fighting. And I don't feel like most squirrels would know that we're fighting. Mm-hmm. The squirrels are going in with hate and malice born into every squirrel. Okay, so maybe like 5. I could do 5. The squirrels in question are trained in Sambo and Jujutsu. Okay, so maybe like 2. If they're trained combat squirrels, that's different. The context matters. I will have to answer this after stream. Yeah, if they're trained combat squirrels, 2. If they're not trained and they don't know what's going on, then like 5. I don't remember. 6. Maybe 7. Maybe we could do this. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you believe in me. Six, 7. 6, 7 squirrels is a comfortable range. Yeah, I think so. I would lose to a squirrel mostly because I have no desire to harm a squirrel. Fair. Sorry guys, I'm having to mark stuff off. Okay. Next question. Next question is, how am I? I'm doing good. I had a whole bunch of caffeine before stream today, so I'm a little shaky. But that's fine. Did it to myself. I have a meeting right after stream today, and then I have a meeting after that. But I'm really enjoying this art that I'm doing. I'm liking how it's turning out. And I think that we're probably going to get to a point where I'm going to have to stop. Not soon, but we will get to that point. And we'll have to do, like, another stream where I finish this art. Good, good. How are you guys? You're tired? No, you gotta wake up. Wake up. Somebody's taking a train to Sleepy Time Junction. Somebody is so tired they can barely function. And they're getting on that train to Sleepy Time Junction. All aboard, yells the engineer. Sleepy Time Junction is so near. I love that little song. Such a cute little song. Someone asked, what is the most difficult part of rigging to me? So specifically when you have V-Bridger on the mouth and you have to do a tongue out. Doing a tongue out is something that I don't think people realize how difficult it is, because you have all of those delicate mouth movements, and then you have to put a tongue out on top of it, and it often like warps the mouth in a weird way. And it can really mess up your rig if you don't do it correctly. Mouth rigging, typically when I rig the mouth rigging alone typically takes me a full day. Mouth rigging takes me a full day. Eye rigging takes me a half day, and hair rigging usually takes me a full day, if not two, depending on how voluminous the hair is. The body typically takes me 2 days, which is why I say I can't make VTuber models in a week anymore. Because it's just the amount of time that it takes me to make a VTuber model is far more than it used to be because of the different techniques that I now employ. Hi, Lord Racer. Hello, my dear. Welcome home. When you finish the body rigging, do you say my body is ready? I do not. I never have done that, and I never will. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. You submitted a question too? Let's go! I'm looking forward to it. We're still making our way through the questions. I'm sure it will come up as we go. But thank you for submitting a question. Anyways. Hey, okay, let's see. This says, "Hey Fable, long-time listener, first-time caller. I was wondering if you think Ciri and Saoirse have any relationship or opinions about each other, or if they exist fully independently from one another." Great question! I'm glad you asked it. Let me bring Saoirse back up so we can see Saoirse. The two characters in question are me, Ciri. I am Ciri right now, and then that is Saoirse. They are characters who have two different names, but are actually the same person. Ciri, this form is from the past, and Saoirse is from the future. It is an interesting question, because if you consider the fact that they are the same person, naturally, I do think that they have opinions about each other, right? In much the same way that you probably have opinions about yourself when you were younger, too. If anything, I would say that Ciri doesn't have any opinion of Saoirse, but Saoirse feels pity for Ciri, if I had to put it in a simplified manner. Just in the way that Saoirse feels about herself the way that she was younger. Right? And how she feels that she went through everything. We're going to get more details on exactly what that relationship looks like and what the two are like when I finish the animatic. But I think that's the best way to answer that question. And also clarify that Ciri and Saoirse are the same person. There's just a bit of a metamorphosis there. What was your question, Nova? We still have like a handful left. So maybe not. But anyways. Yeah. They do... Sorry, the music got distracting. Yeah. Sorry, I'm all over my words right now. But I hope that answers the question. That Ciri will never know that Saoirse exists. Saoirse will always know that Ciri existed. Later on, when we do get Saoirse, there is a question of... And nobody's asked this, but off stream they have asked it. Will we still see Ciri after Saoirse debuts? That fully depends on if I upgrade Ciri's model to the point where I want to have them interchangeable. Like right now, the only reason why you guys don't have a redeem for the OG outfit for Ciri is because her OG outfit is not configured to her new rigging. The Nier Automata outfit that I have for Ciri is almost entirely unusable at this point. Hi, Lord Racer, welcome home. So that, it just depends on if I am able to upgrade the model to be on par. So that way you guys don't get like a model degrade when you redeem that. But yeah. Ciri and Saoirse are same character, they're from the same story. They're essentially two different chapters. The next question is, if you could make a video game, what would you make it about? So I kind of am making a video game. Low-key, high-key. I talked about that a little bit earlier. I am making a VN, and one thing that I have considered, and I did consider putting up a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter for it, is making a VN specifically with the Snow Fable lore, the Ciri, Saoirse, and then you guys have learned a little bit about the Fae today too. So Ciri, Saoirse, and Socks. Oh, I forgot Saoirse's still up. There's Socks. And I could pour time into that project as well. But I don't want to start a Kickstarter for that project until I have a little bit more coding experience under my belt. I would love to one day turn the Snow Fable lore into like a combat RPG. So think like Genshin mechanics, but not a gacha. And it is Genshin mechanics in a Kingdom Hearts format. I think would be the kind of game that I would love to develop with the Snow Fable lore. If only because the Snow Fable lore is meant to be flexible enough that anyone can kind of insert themselves into that universe. So if a VTuber came to me and they're like, hey, I want to slightly adjust my lore so that I can fit into your world, there'd be no contest. They would be able to do so very easily. And within the context of that Genshin Hearts project, you would be able to visit that VTuber's quote-unquote world in the game. Yeah. I think that would be really cool. Yep. I would love to produce that one day, but I gotta start with visual novels. That's what I can do. I start with what I can do, and then maybe we'll evolve into something larger. Maybe. You guys gotta brush up on your lore, okay? So that I can put you in my video game. One day soon. You need a lore guide? I can work on that. The lore outside of Ciri and Saoirse, as I said earlier, was, there's essentially 3 types of beings. There's 2 genders in my world. You're either a fae, which you're contracted to the earth, or you're not a fae, and if you're a magical being, you're contracted to a summoner. So there's 2 kind of magical beings, I guess I should say. You're either a fae, which is of the earth, or you are a familiar, which is of a summoner. And that's really all the lore you need to have for my world, my magic system. Can't insert the world. That's gone forever, he said. Aw, I'm sorry. Yeah, so you can be like a summoner. You could be a magic user. You could be a familiar who is contracted to a magic user, and then you can be a fae who is contracted to the spirit of earth. And those are kind of your 3 options. Even though like being a summoner or being a human, there's a wider array of what you could be, of course. You know, you could go into like necromancer, and what does a necromancer's familiar look like? Or what does a fae necros look like, you know? You can get into all of that. Basically, do you serve man or do you serve nature? And what kind of limits does that give you? Okay. I have to be right back. My tummy is a little upset. So I'm gonna go take care of my tummy really quick, and then we will continue. I will zoom out so you guys can see the progress so far. But I will be right back. Okay. I took my break at a good time. Hey guys. I'm back. Thank you. Welcome back to you. I'm glad we could all take a break together. Sorry. I had to plug my phone in. Oh my god, I'm back! Oh my god, you're back! We're back. We're back together. Mm-hmm. 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 I'm really liking how this is turning out. I think I look really good. Oh, Kyrie. We're all back. We're all back. Yeah. I think this is looking really good. Yeah, I like the bells too. That was one of the big things that I wanted, is I wanted bells. Black. Yeah. Okay. Hello? Alright, sorry. I'm trying to click my webpage. This question says, what is my favorite character from the Freak Circus? I don't know that I can answer that. I don't think I can answer that. I can't answer that. Classified. Classified information. It's classified, Your Honor. Yep. Yep. Can you believe that that's the question I can't answer? It is. It's highly secured. That's for me. That's for me to know. Mm-hmm. That's for me to know. Next question. What's your favorite part of design, be it a specific or general process? Ooh. That's a good question. I'm really thinking about it. I also got my cup of juice. Probably trying different things on. Trying different motifs and different, like, what is the word I'm looking for? Different silhouettes. And seeing what things I like, what things fit. What do I think looks good on my character? Kind of like what we're doing now, I think is my favorite part. I like playing with color as well. The research part is pretty fun, because I can just like sit back and go through different boards and pick out things that I like, and I'll be like, ooh, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. A lot of that. Mm-hmm. And just getting to put different things on paper. My least favorite part is drawing the body. That's why I recycle a lot of bodies when I do design. If you see a body and you're like, I feel like I've seen that before, yeah. Probably, you probably have. I don't like drawing bodies over and over again. Let me fix this up a little bit. Let me fix this up so I can see it better, because it's kind of hard to see right now. Does that mean you don't like drawing plus-size bodies now? I like drawing plus-size bodies. I have done plus-size designs before. It's more just about, I think too hard when I draw bodies. And some days I can draw, like this body, I drew in... I, like, sketched it out 15 minutes before stream. So some days I have really good drawing days, some days it's, like, the worst day of my life. And I can't for the life of me draw anything. But I've drawn plenty of plus-size bodies before. It's not something that I mind at all, it's just more like the metrics and dimensions of drawing a body at all. It sometimes just doesn't come out the way I want it to. What is my most recent vocal stem? Amaze, amaze, amaze! From, good old Project Hail Mary. Amaze, amaze, amaze! I've been saying that a lot. There's also, like, a type of body you see most VTubers use. Oh, yeah. I mean, when you work with VTubers, you get really used to the one body type. And you're like, alright, well, this is what I'm drawing every day for the rest of my life. I will say, though, I have seen a lot more plus-size VTubers recently, however. With genuine plus-size bodies. So there is certainly a market for it. The one body type. Oh, the big old chest with the itty bitty waist and thighs the size of Massachusetts. Yep, that is a VTuber. Amaze, amaze, amaze. Yeah, that's definitely my big vocal stem lately. Until someone slips you a little skeleton, you oh, there's a way drawing bodies can get worse. I'll be honest, I just use a 3D model, Bread. I'm on the 3D model and pray arc when it comes to skeleton bodies. By hips, I meant butt. I was being nice. I was trying not to say, you know, their rear. It's weird having so many friends that are lewd tubers. Because I get a little bit bashful about it all. And they could just say ass. Hashtag free Fable. Let Fable say ass. Imagine just being able to say that. Could it be me? Me? I have to think about it. I get one. I get one per stream, and I have to use it wisely. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit more. Maya Sol? That's a good name. That's a good name if I've ever heard one. I've thought a lot about making a VTuber alt, specifically just for ASMR. But I have so many other projects to pursue right now. Despite the fact that I have a mood board for a VTuber alt, it's likely you'll just see her as another Fae character in the Snow Fable. And you'll be like, wow, she looks really developed. I'll be like, yeah. I don't know the bit, Nova. Oh, I get it now. I'm glad you explained it to me. Okay, I see. I see. Okay, that was what is my most recent vocal stem. This person said, Fable has amazing and beautiful OCs. Will you create more? And if you do, will you create VTubers of them? I was kind of just talking about this. I was talking about how I low-key, high-key, low-key was making a VTuber alt. But she's ultimately probably just going to be turned into an OC because I don't actually have time to rig a whole bunch of models for fun. So yes, you will see more original characters from me, and you will likely see quite a few of them featured in the animatic I'm making for Saoirse. Married Children Show. Yeah. So yes, you'll see plenty of more characters from me. I develop characters quite often, and I share them in my Discord with my Ko-fi subscribers. When I do make a character, they're usually the first ones to know about it. So it does happen. But you have to do a whole bunch of models for profit, and like, yes. Yeah, that's the idea, yeah. Pasturegeist. Hello, my dear. Thank you for the raid. Welcome home, everyone. How was your stream? What did you do? Feet raid. Oh, thank you for feet. Thank you. I will accept them. I will accept them with my heart. Thank you. Thank you for your feet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome home. How was your stream? Kale Rose. Hello, my dear. Welcome home. Thank you for the follow. For the first time in forever with the model, you 50% might finish. Well, I hope you get to finish it. Congrats on drawing again. And thank you for the follow, my dear. Welcome home. I'm glad you like my work. That makes me really happy. We're making me a little jester lady outfit today for fun, for funsies. Because I really want to do a CircusCore outfit. But yeah, thanks for sharing your community with me. Welcome in. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Fable. I am a Cozy Comfort Snowy Owl VTuber. I do art, romance, cozy games, and fashion. And it's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome home. Right now, we're doing an AMA also. People have been submitting questions, and I have been answering them slowly over the course of the past 3 hours. So, if you have a question, feel free to submit it. We are getting... I think we're down to the last... We got a handful more. We're down to the last 6 right now, unless somebody else submits another one. Yeah. Of course, if you need to raid and run, please make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Get something to eat, get something to drink. Make sure you take a rest and stretch and do all those fun things. We'd love to see it. Okay. The next question. This question asks, how do you like your eggs cooked? I like omelets. I'm an omelet lady. Let's see what lines here. Okay, we're just gonna do another one. Thank you for stopping by, and remember, you always have a home here. What about omurice? I do really like omurice, but it's hard for me to attain. Because omurice is one of those things that's really difficult to cook, and there's not really a lot of places nearby that sell it. So if I can get omurice, then yes, omurice. But the likelihood that it's available to me is very low. Do I like to bake eggs in the oven? I can't say I've ever done that before. Do you bake eggs in the oven? If you say no, this is gonna be really funny. Just be like, no, I don't bake eggs in the oven, but I was just wondering if you do. Maybe not. But I feel like because you asked me that, I'm gonna make mac and cheese tonight. It's unrelated, but what I have decided is that I'm gonna make mac and cheese tonight, based off of your question. What is the secret strat behind oven eggs? Am I missing out on a true culinary experience? You don't scramble them before doing that? So do you just like crack the eggs on a like a sheet and then put them in the oven? Is that how you do it? Bum, bum, bum. You crack them into a muffin tin. Oh, that makes so much sense. I like that idea, actually. You know what? That is the optimal way. This is the way. They turn out close to a poached egg by doing that. Sounds really good. Poached eggs is another thing. If I had access to poached eggs, I'd get poached eggs all the time. Really good. I really like poached eggs. I like this question. I just clicked the next question. They said, do you wear wigs? Have you worn wigs? Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? Such a good interview. I'll wear wigs at a convention when I do a cosplay. That's the only time I've really ever worn wigs. Hello, Sky Shadow. Welcome home, my dear. When will you wear wigs? I'm glad you didn't miss your question, Nova. Yeah, I'd wear wigs at a convention if I was doing a cosplay, but I don't cosplay much, so I barely ever wear wigs. I also have a full head of hair. I'm very Irish, so I have a ton of hair on my head, specifically. So it's really hard to get all of my hair up into a wig cap to put a wig on. So, do I wear wigs? Not really. Lion King, hello, my dear. Welcome home. Mm-hmm. I have Irish and Scottish blood. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that question. That was a good question. Oh, did I skip one? No. Okay. Do I have a favorite design or commission I've done for someone else? I have a couple. I really liked Autumn's birthday outfit. Her new Apple outfit. That was really fun because me and Autumn got into a call and we just basically did a try-on session where I drew her character a bunch of different ways until she was like, that's what I want. And that was really fun to do, and I like how her design turned out because we did like a grease lightning type style for her. There's two that I'm working on right now that I really like how they're turning out, and they're both kind of sort of redesigns, kind of sort of different characters, depends on how you look at it. And they're two completely different commissions right now, but I really like them. And I think they're turning out really, really good. I think I've said this before, but the most favorite streams are when we get her to break character. Most of the time laughing. That question was close enough. It's really easy to get me to laugh. You don't have to work very hard. I'm laughing all the time. That's why I'm dressing myself up as a jester right now. I'm a laughing little lady. I love to laugh. Oh. I see a couple more people have submitted questions. Thank you for submitting questions. We are getting to like the last handful. So you are still welcome to submit questions. I'll probably get to them soonish, depending on how fast these questions go. The next question is, if I had to live in a fictional world, which one would I live in and why? See, part of me was like, Infinity Nikki, but Infinity Nikki, a lot of, like, terrible things happen. Bad things are always happening to people in Infinity Nikki, so I don't actually think Infinity Nikki. Equestria? But I wouldn't want to be, I would want to be like a girl. Like a human-esque woman. I like being a woman. I wouldn't want to be a pony. I mean, there's a lot of nice things about Equestria, for sure. And I was like, Petite Planet, but Petite Planet, I would be the only human. Yeah, Pokemon is kind of what I was thinking. I was like, Pokemon is really, like, the best thing I can come up with. They did, but all of those were girls in high school. Like, do you still have to pay rent in Equestria? Do you still have to pay taxes? How responsible do I have to be? I want to live in the world where I can just make art all the time for everyone, and I don't have to pay bills, and I make art all the time. And then also am a human woman. A human-esque-ish woman. It'd be nice if I had wings. And could have magical powers. Yeah. It's less about there being males there, and it's more about me just wanting to have, like, a human-ish body. Well, you know, like a human woman, but with cat ear. Like, the anime logic. You know what I'm saying? There's no world that really sticks out that it's like, ah, yes, this is how I would want it to be. Life as a trainer in Uma Musume? I don't know that I would enjoy that as much as people think I would enjoy that. I would want to live in a world of my own creation. Final answer. World of my own creation. That's what I would want to live in. I decide. I make the rules. Because a part of me is also like, well, the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. But I would want specifically to be like a waterbender. If I can't be a waterbender, I don't want to live in that world. My Hero Academia? That's a good one. I could see that. But there's still some, like, major conflicts in MHA. Yeah, we're gonna live in the Snow Fable. Legend of Korra? I mean, it's still like, would I be able to choose what element I bend? I would want to be a waterbender or even an airbender. A thought in my head just said I would want to be the Avatar, but that's not true. Don't give me that level of responsibility. I don't want it. I don't want to be responsible. Yeah, I think my final answer is either Pokemon or a world of my own creation. Do you know how pissed I'd be if I was in Avatar and wasn't a bender? Exactly, Autumn. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I had to live in that world, I would want to be a bender. Also, welcome home, Autumn. You missed it earlier. We were talking about you. If there is a setting, I would pick Megas XLR since all the damage gets fixed in a week there. Oh, there we go, Autumn. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad you saw that. Oh, you asked the egg question. Teehee. Let me check something. Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh geez. Alright. I have to make sure I'm good on time. Yeah, alright. I'm good on time. What is the oddest fanfic someone made about you, and what made that odd? So there's not a lot of fanfics about me, if I'm so real with you. There's probably one fanfic about me, if that. Well, no, there's more, because I commissioned one. You could certainly surprise me by making an odd fanfic. I would be very surprised. Autumn does wear wig. You can make Autumn bald. You can't make me bald. You can make Autumn bald, though. Yeah, I think any fanfiction would be an odd fanfiction, seeing as I don't get a lot of fanfictions. There is no official resource for the Snow Fable lore, so it is incredibly hard to make a fanfiction about me unless you come to every single one of my streams and you write down literally everything that I have ever had to say about my lore. I can't imagine that it's the easiest task. Bald? Yeah. You can't make me bald. They're literally, like, it doesn't exist. Bald Siri never existed. You could. Don't. Simply don't. I had a draft for one after doing with the Siri debut. Didn't go beyond half a draft. You should have shown me! If you ever make any kind of literature about me, I will say it wasn't a fan fiction, but I did have somebody put me in their D&D campaign, and that was a high honor. They put me in as an NPC, and they sent me the part of the D&D campaign where they put my character in, and I really liked that. Write a fanfic? Yeah, you can write a fanfic. Please don't make me bald. No, but did you see this really pretty hair? Put this in the fanfic. We just made this really pretty hair. Put this in fanfic. Aw, Brad. I would have loved it. Even if it's terrible. I would have loved it. Especially if it's terrible, in fact. Okay, I do have to go a little bit faster through these questions just to make sure everybody gets one answered. So I'm going to be kind of focusing on the questions for a hot minute. We'll probably do a CircusCore part 2. Stream so that we can finish this outfit and put color on it and everything. But I am going to try to get all of your questions answered. Oh, bread. Half a Fable fanfic? I need to see it. I gotta finish your fanfic. I was writing you a fanfic. How would you describe your art and style? People, whenever they have described my art, they have always described it as being elegant. And I really like that word to describe my art because I think that if I have ever endeavored to have a mood to my style, it would be elegant. But also sincere. Really? You guys need to start writing your fanfics down. If I had more money, I'd do a fanfiction contest, and I would reward you guys for writing fanfics for me. But if you guys write fanfics, I'll read them on stream. Even if they're really silly. I'll do it. Especially if they're really silly, in fact. But yeah, my art style, I would say, sincere and elegant is what I strive for with my art. The winner contest doesn't get their fanfiction idea beaten out of them by Fable. You can't even write your own VTuber lore down? Well, just get a recorder. Get a voice recorder and just speak it. Speak it into being. Yeah. That's what you gotta do. That's the pro strat. Do this. All right. And we're going to do it on this side, and I'm going to read the next question. Okay. I mean, my entire lore exists as a bullet point in a Discord channel, so whatever to get it out of your head. Yeah, exactly. Do you want to be a train? Do you ever want to be a train like Thomas the Tank Engine? If not, why? No, I've never really thought about it. I'm not really a train gal. I used to be when I was in college. I really like trains. And I really like choo-choo. Choo-choo. I really like choo-choo. But other than that, no. I've never like thought of myself as like a train person. So yeah, that is a no from me, unfortunately. It's just not something that I think about. Hi, Pixie. Hi. You hungry? He's hungry. Okay. Next question. Do you know how to draw a cow that ate all of the grass and left the area? Yeah, sure. Whatever you would. The world's your oyster. For sure. I could draw a cow that ate all the grass and left the area. Absolutely. Will I? Probably not. How do you feel about splunking? Recreational cave exploration. I've done it a couple times. I do enjoy a good cave exploration. Will I do it again? Maybe. I don't know. I have no plans to in the right now, but I do go on hikes every once in a while. So maybe? But yeah, spelunking is cool. Dumb ways to die. Yeah, kind of. Is water wet? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, that's all the questions. Thank you everyone for submitting a question. I really enjoyed doing this. I'm glad that we had a good combination, I think. We had a combination of silly and serious and a whole bunch of different things, which was really nice. I really enjoyed it. This is gonna be where we stop for our gesture design. I hope that you all really like it so far. We will do another stream this week, finishing up the design and giving it color. I have to go take care of my puppy, and then I have a meeting to go to. I have meetings all throughout the evening. So I'm glad that I got to spend some time with you guys, because I'm going to be working all the rest of today. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like it. We will pick this up next time. Thank you again for joining me. Getting to talk with you all is really the best part of what I do. And I'm glad I got to share so much with you all today. Amazing circus owl. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. There's lots of people online. Lots and lots of people online. We're gonna go to... we're gonna go to a playthrough of Alice Madness Returns. I was talking about that earlier. What a good stream. Amaze. If you're on YouTube, this is where I bid you adieu. If you are on Twitch, we're gonna go over and we're gonna watch some, I almost said Amazing Digital Circus. No, we're gonna watch some Alice Madness Returns. Go send them all of my love. If you haven't eaten today, make sure you eat, get something to drink, take your medication, all those good things, stretch. You deserve some self-care. You really do. And most importantly, remember, you always have a home here. Bye-bye.